Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Let's talk about the Charlotte Hornets. They finished 19 and 36, 19 and 63. They were the third worst team in the NBA. They ended up with the fourth pick after the draft lottery. So what grade did you give them for the season?
B minus, B plus.
I gave
Just
them a D. Yeah, I'm with you.
yeah, very disappointing. Again, injuries play a part of this, but how many more times do we have to see Lamelo get hurt? How many more times are they just going to be like overall disappointing team? Brandon Miller again got hurt, um, and it just keeps setting you back. Grant Williams got hurt. Like I think they have a bones of a decent team at times, but it's just not coming together. And you're paying Lamelo a lot. You're paying Miles Bridges a good amount. Like we need to see some progress here, and we're not seeing progress.
Well, that's my big thing. So I thought Miller, when he was healthy, he looked pretty solid. Like I thought they might have found something with him. I always was big on Miller when he was coming out of draft. So I think they'll be okay there. But when you look at their team, and I think I'll go D minus, not just D, because I had this team like in the lottery, not in the lottery. I think they were my last play-in team. Because when you look at their team, they got LaMelo, Miller, Bridges, Williams, Mark Williams. They got Grant Williams, and they had I thought they had one more guy that I kind of liked. But you just think like, man, this Josh Green. So they have like bones of a team that you'd be like, this ain't that bad. Like this shouldn't be a 19 win team, and yet they are, and you could say, well, LaMelo was injured. He was only injured for 40. I mean, he played 47 games. I mean, so even with LaMelo being injured, he played 47 games, and you still ended up 19 and 63. I just think like as much they have a lot of youth, but none of that youth, and maybe injuries is part of this, but none of that youth even stuck out. Like none of it popped. Like even their pick they picked last year, Salon. I don't know how you pronounce his name, but he didn't really pop either. So it's like, what do you really have to look forward to except this like highlight reel of LaMelo Ball? You know what I'm saying? Like that's it right now. So I'm actually really disappointed in their season last year, and that's why maybe F even for me. Like, but I'm gonna go D minus because I'm trying to be fair, because of the injuries. But man, it was just a tough season for them. I don't know. Like, what do you take out of it? And then you end up with the fourth pick. So
Yeah, I feel like part of it is like they're not a serious team,
mm,
and I don't mean that in the way of like, well, maybe I do mean it in the way you're going to take it. Just when you watch them, sometimes you're like, is there discipline on this team? Are they working to improve these things? Like it seems like Lamelo just does whatever he wants, and again, he's quickly either entering or is at the like. Well, his stats and his highlight reels are going to be awesome if this is his career, but you're like, cool. What did you win? Like 30 games your best
right.
season? Like, congratulations on putting up 27 and 10 and 5 in an era where a lot of guys can do it and never winning or being taken seriously.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I'm just curious about their offseason. So why don't we talk about this? So offseason outlook, they did get the fourth pick. So the mock draft had VJ Edgecombe, the guard from Baylor, going to Charlotte. On top of that, no big free agents really, like Seth Curry and Taj Gibson are some of the people, but they have three picks in the top 35 this year, 21 tradable picks as well. And then they have a lot of tradable contracts like Bridges, Williams, and Nurkic, Green. Those type of contracts are very tradable. I don't know though, man. I don't know if they should be trying to get better or what. What do you think? What do you think of their season going forward?
This is why it's hard for the Hornets because if you have Ball Miles Bridges, after his legal trouble, has like the shine has kind of come off, but he shows flashes. Josh Green, Brandon Miller. If you end up getting Edgecombe or Ace Bailey, whoever one of those two will be there.
Hmm.
You look at that and you're like, wow, that's like that's the groundwork of something. So you can see why they're hesitant to just like, hey, why don't we just start over? And you have all those picks, but like, who are you bringing in that turns this into? Especially if you don't know if Lamelo Ball is going to play 65 games ever.
Yeah.
Brandon Miller, I think he had the surgery soon enough, so hopefully, I think it was his shoulder, is fine. In all these cases, I tend to, if I was running the Hornets, like move off some of these guys and not hard reset, but like, okay, Lamelo Ball, what do we got here besides some great TikTok clips? So I would lean towards let's punt a little, um, but it's hard to do because the Hornets have been bad for so long to just be like, all right, fans, don't worry. We're going to take our fan favorite. We're going to ship them out and we're going to start over. But I just don't see anything that is close to being a legitimate second round playoff contender, even in the East right now.
Yeah. I think like with LaMelo, that's what the big thing they have to decide. What do they see in LaMelo? Because you're going to get a lot for him. Somebody's going to trade for him. Like let's say Brooklyn Nets, right? They got Shaft in the draft, right? But they got a bunch of picks and it's like, "Hey, let's bring LaMelo to New York. Let's bring him to Brooklyn and let him go to town." Like everybody's going to love that. So you have that kind of option somewhere. Some team will probably want him. But what does Charlotte think of him? Do they think they can like build around him, Miller, the pick they drafted last year and this year's pick, and then just like take all the contracts that you got these veterans, just ship them off other places? Like Bridges might be valuable somewhere. Nurkic is done, I think, but he's 1 year, 19 million. Josh Green's an interesting piece. Grant Williams might be an interesting piece to some teams. So, like, could you reset that way, or do you want to reset with Lamelo going forward? That's sort of the predicament I think they're in. It's really about Lamelo and what they want to do there.
I would agree. Like, he's going to be up for after next year. He's extension eligible again. But he'd still have what two? He'd still have
3
2 year,
years.
3 years
Yeah.
after that. But they're extension eligible earlier than ever now. So again, not that you have to do it after next year, but again, you're reaching decision points where guys' salary is going to go up real quick with the new TV money coming in. So you kind of have to, I think, this season, either before this season or before the draft next year, pick something, pick a
Yeah,
direction.
yeah, correct. So what's your long shot for them?
I don't think the Hornets are the type of team that's going to punt yet. So I think this is a team where they go for Zion. I think
Oh,
they try to shoot like Bridges and Nurkic and a couple picks, whether it's this year or a future pick or someone else's pick that they have, and bring in Zion and just make it the all TikTok highlight team of Zion and Lamelo, and they'll get like 15 good games before injuries. But I do think the Hornets. I don't think they're quite as bad as like the Bulls or the Kings, maybe because they haven't been a seed worthy. But I feel like they're going to give it a shot and maybe be a little aggressive at getting someone that they could sell some more tickets and probably talk themselves into, hey, we don't need to be that much better to be in the playoffs in the East next year.
yeah, that's an interesting one. Do you think where would you like to see LaMelo if he got traded?
I feel like he would have been great with the Spurs.
Mhm.
I think I think he needs more of a system team that would kind of put some clamps on him. Um, I think he would be interesting in Miami.
Yeah, I thought of
Um,
Miami too. Yeah.
but all the other teams, like if he goes to the Nets, you're like, oh, that would be, New York, you know, the sister of the Knicks or whatever. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. But again, LaMelo's just going to do his type of stuff,
Right.
and I don't know if that's winning basketball.
Correct. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I had someone on the Pelicans too. I don't think the Pelicans are really willing to trade him, but Trey Murphy was kind of like my long shot. If you threw the fourth round pick and just contracts, like, do they want another young guy, right? Like, maybe not. So the Pelicans, they look at their roster, a lot of old. It's kind of a mix between like young, good wings, but then like Zion and then like older guys with bigger contracts. So would they be like, yeah, we'll take the fourth pick and like Nurkic's dying contracts, other picks as well. It wouldn't be just the fourth round pick this year, but whatever it might be, because Trey Murphy would at least add some stability and shooting and a little bit of defense around LaMelo, Miller, and Williams. That was sort of something I just thought of, but I don't think the Pelicans are looking to trade him, so I don't know what's that is that worth.
Yeah, the Pelicans again, another team. When we eventually get to them, like what are we doing? But,
Yeah.
It's a tough situation for both.
Yeah,
both
correct.
sides.
Correct. It's funny because I feel like both team has pieces, like, right? Like they have pieces like, man, if that guy is on a roster that wins a championship, I don't think we'd be surprised. But that they don't have like a direction. They have pieces, no direction, I guess is the word to use, you know.
Let's just merge the two teams.
Right. It's like they got a bunch of tires, but they have no car to put the tires on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's sort of what it is. Okay, let's you ready to move on to the next team?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.